folks, HR Funk here with a big thank you to all of you out there. Yesterday, my YouTube channel logged its 5,000th subscriber, and this is just tremendous. I have said this before. When I first started this channel, I didn't know if 5 people would want to listen to anything I had to say, let alone 5,000. And in fact, we're over 5,000 now. The last time I looked a little while ago, we were about 5,009. So tremendous thank you to all of you out there. And for 5,000 of you to hit the subscribe button, that's just amazing to me. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I've got to tell you that with this channel, it's been kind of an interesting journey. I started out the channel because I was seeing some things on YouTube that I just didn't feel were all that great. I didn't like the way that they represented firearms aficionados, or I didn't like the information that was being presented. And I thought, as a firearms instructor myself, this would be a venue where I could try to put out information to people that would hopefully be useful to them, and maybe even entertain them a little bit along the way, and have some fun with this as a hobby, and really be able to hopefully help out you folks that are interested in firearms. The response has been incredible. I really love talking to all of you across the country, across our country, the United States, and around the world. I love communicating back and forth with the international viewers who like to post comments here and there. And really what I've discovered is we're all very like-minded. It doesn't matter if we're from the United States, if we're from Australia, if we're from Germany, if we're wherever. We all have this common interest of firearms, and we enjoy talking and sharing our experiences with other like-minded folks, and I very much enjoy that. Please, if you see me, and this happens from time to time, it happens up at Camp Perry, happened to me a couple of weeks ago at a gun show that someone comes up and says, "Hey, are you HR Funk?" Definitely come up, say hi. I enjoy talking to you. I like hearing any ideas you might have to try to improve the channel. I have tried to improve the videos over time. I feel like in 2017, I've put out some of my best videos from both an informational standpoint and from an entertainment standpoint. I've tried to make them more fun. I've come up with things like the water bottle desperados and the thumbtack shot just to try to give it that entertainment value. And there's been a great response to that. Again, thank you very much. I also have to say this last year has been a little bit of a challenge because of this adversarial relationship that I've developed, or not just me, but firearms channels in general have developed with YouTube. Now, I'm very grateful that I'm able to come onto YouTube in the first place and present videos to anyone who's interested in watching them. I appreciate the opportunity for that. But the backlash against firearms channels and firearms owners from both YouTube and Google over the past year or so has really made it kind of a struggle to be able to get these videos up and to be able to get some advertising revenue coming back in. Now, I never looked at YouTube as an occupation. I never looked at this as a way that I was going to support myself and my family. What I did look at it as was a fun hobby that I was hoping would at least bring in enough money from ad revenue to support itself. And it kind of sort of hasn't. Again, over the course of the last year, I've pretty much watched my ad revenue go down and down and down. And I really am losing money. If I factor in my time making the videos and editing the videos and all that, it's a money loser. I get a little bit of money trickling in, but not much. Now, unlike some of the larger channels, I really don't want to go the Patreon route, and I don't want to do that for a couple of reasons. I thought about it, and I decided against it, and here's why. First off, it's a matter of pride for me. I don't want to feel like I'm asking people for a handout. The other thing is kind of tied to that. There are so many people that we are bombarded with, those of us who actually earn a living in this world or in this country, and there is this constant parade of people who believe that they are entitled to some amount of our money because the money we've earned, because whatever they have or their cause is or whatever is so worthy in their mind that we should fork over money, obviously, for whatever that may be, in order for them to further whatever they're doing. And now we can add some people in the YouTube community to that. Now, I'm not really being critical of the YouTube presenters who have gone that route. People do what they need to get by in this world, and I understand that. But I just don't want to be part of that parade of people standing there with my hand out trying to separate you from your hard-earned money. So I'm not looking at setting up a Patreon channel anytime soon. I'm hoping eventually the YouTube money starts to come back, and maybe I'll start to make a little bit more on ad revenue again in the future. The other odd thing that has happened with YouTube, and it's all tied in with the ad revenue thing, is when I post a video, it seems like for the first 24 hours or so, I get a lot of views. There are a lot of you out there that are tuning in, that are interested. That's tremendous. Then all of a sudden my video gets restricted to advertising, and it seems like those views come to a screeching halt. A great example of this is my most recent video on the Smith & Wesson Highway Patrolman. I think in the first 24 hours that video logged something like 350 views, which is great for one of mine. And I was hoping that was going to continue. And right about the 350 mark, it got restricted to advertising. And all of a sudden, the views just stopped. And then what happens is after that, they sort of trickle in a few at a time, a few over the course of days, the entire time that video is restricted. And it seems like they never quite bounce back. It's literally like somebody turns off a switch. The same thing seems to happen with comments. I will have many comments in a very condensed period of time, and then all of a sudden it's like somebody turns off the switch and I don't get any comments for quite a while, and then all of a sudden they start again. Now, I will say at this point, I do try to respond to all the comments that I get, at least all the ones that I can respond to. Sometimes people will post a comment that there's really no response to. And overwhelmingly, the number of comments that I get are supportive, they are positive. Every once in a while, probably 3-4% of the comments that I get will end up being negative somehow, but by far most of them are positive. Most of them are people either asking questions or looking to share information or whatever, which is great. But in any case, the video gets restricted, the views stop, the comments stop, and again, I think this is all tied in with this situation with YouTube and Google and kind of this adversarial relationship that they have with the firearms community. Now, one of the things that really drives me crazy about this is that I go out of my way to try to make sure that I don't have objectionable speech or anything that's offensive in the way of the content of my videos. I bend over backwards to try to keep from doing that. You don't even really hear any profanity in my videos, and I know that there are some channels out there and there are some presenters that that's sort of a regular part of their presentation. I'm not one of them. And when my videos get restricted solely because they have content that involves firearms or firearms related gear, it really kind of aggravates me. There's no way to put it any other way. And I'm not going to change the way I present the videos because so many of you have commented over time that you've stopped watching other firearms YouTube channels over time. You've gotten away from it, and then all of a sudden you find my channel and you'll send me a comment, say, you know, I quit watching firearms videos for a long time because I didn't like the way they were presented, and then I found yours and I started watching them and I really like them. Thank you, by the way, for those comments. And this again is something that comes back to my own personal philosophy. I know when I am on this camera and when I am presenting these videos to you folks, I am representing American firearms owners to everyone around the world. And I want them to understand that we are not trigger-happy, bloodthirsty troglodytes who just can't wait for the next opportunity we have to shoot somebody. That's not it at all. We just have an interest in firearms. We like shooting, we like handling and working on firearms, and we enjoy communicating with other folks that are like-minded. And again, that's what I want the world to recognize about us as firearms aficionados. I also never hide the fact that I am a police officer, and I realize that I am representing United States or American police officers to an audience around the world. Similarly, I want them to understand that we are professional law enforcement officers. We take our oaths seriously. We do support and defend the Constitution of the United States, and we try to protect and defend those who rely upon us. So again, I want the world to understand that about police officers. I want the world to understand that about firearms owners. And as I said before, I take that responsibility very seriously. In any regard, folks, I don't want this video to become a downer. I don't want it to get depressing. Again, I am saying thank you very much. Thank you to my 5,000 subscribers. If you're a viewer who hasn't subscribed yet, why not? Please join us. I really enjoy having you on board. I enjoy the communication back and forth, and I thank you all for your support and for your continued viewership. So that's it for now. If you have any questions or comments, as always, be sure to leave those below. And until next time, thank you and good shooting. Bye-bye.